13 people are dead and several are still missing after a deadly crash involving a UPS plane in Louisville, Kentucky. The NTSB is still investigating what caused this tragic accident, with an update just moments ago.
The cockpit voice recorder contained 2 hours and 4 minutes of what we consider good quality digital recorded audio. In reviewing that audio, the crew completed their standard checklists and briefings in preparation for the flight. The takeoff roll was what we called uneventful through the different speed callouts. About 37 seconds after the crew called for takeoff thrust, a repeating bell was heard on the CVR, which persisted until the end of the recording 25 seconds later. During this time, the crew engaged in efforts to attempt to control the aircraft before the crash.
Let's bring in CBS News national investigative correspondent Tom Hanson, who's live for us in Louisville. Tom, what else is the NTSB saying?
Yeah, well, Liz, as you just heard there, two key parts of information, the audio leading up to the catastrophe, and then, of course, that timeline right there. I want to dig into that timeline first because I clarified with NTSB Chairman Todd Inman later about the 25 seconds that pilots had in order to react to this. That's an incredibly short amount of time. I wanted to see if that 25 seconds actually was the impact or if the recording continued on after impact for some time. He said that the 25 seconds did signify the impact there. So pilots had an incredibly short amount of time. They were traveling at a high velocity of speed. In addition to that, they reached about 100 feet off the ground before tragedy struck. Now, the other thing that Inman highlighted in this presser, which of course this is day 2 of the NTSB being on the ground and really digging through all of the debris and sifting through it, he highlighted the size and scale of this investigation. He said that there were at least 100 first responders who have been engaged and a total of 500 personnel total who have handled this investigation. So they are handling this with the sheer force of multiple agencies federally. Now, those are some of the key things that we learned in this latest presser. Beyond that, one interesting part is they are using technology in order to sift through the rubble and the debris of this. They're using LiDAR technology in order to identify spots where there could be potential parts of the plane. Ultimately, that's going to be to construct the plane. They have actually told the general public that they believe that they have all the parts to the plane in that perimeter that they've secured. But if there are any parts that are ending up in people's yards or random areas around the debris field, they are encouraging people to call in and let them know that they are still, let them know so that they can use that as part of their investigation. Finally, I also want to note that they are still putting out spot fires. They are still putting out spot fires because of the sheer fuel that has been spread across this debris field. So it's an ongoing investigation. It's an ongoing situation where they have fire crews and lines of hose to put out those fires, which are still continuing to burn. Liz?
And Tom, I can't help but notice while you were speaking there, you hear planes going overhead. Air travel has resumed as normal, probably has to, just to keep up with the demand. After all this cleanup, you noted the spot fires, you noted the multiple agencies on the ground there. What's next in the investigation?
They are going to continue to compile parts of the plane. They're going to ultimately try to send those to DC and reconstruct this plane and run forensics on it just to see exactly what went wrong. And the ultimate goal, of course, is to prevent this from happening again. But this is going to be a long road before they get those clear answers. Keep in mind, they are also still trying to identify people who have gone missing during this catastrophe. And to your point, as you can hear behind me, there's actually a plane taking off right now. That's a UPS plane. Because operations are resuming, that is not boding well for a lot of the people who have a lot of questions that they are waiting to have answered by NTSB, those impacted and the victims' families.
Yeah,
Liz?
they're still in mourning from all of this. Tom Hanson, thank you so much for that report.